Alrighty, what's up everybody, Peter Gilmore here for another video right here on the Peter Gilmore YouTube wrestling page, youtube.com/Peter Gilmore. Thank you all for watching, and hope everybody had a great Monday, enjoyed a great Monday on this Monday evening, December the 16th, 2019. A week away from Christmas, 2 weeks away from the end of the year, so holidays are coming up real fast, and so we'll see what happens with that. So hopefully you all have a great week, and that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. Sorry for my voice. My voice is starting to go. I'm getting a cough. I'm starting to get a little bit of a cold, but I'll be alright. Not gonna bring me down or anything, but getting sick near my birthday, which sucks, and I gotta work, which is even worse than that. So, and it's gonna get really cold here in the Northeast on Thursday. It's gonna be like 25 degrees, and I gotta work. It's gonna be a bad day. Hopefully, my heat's on in my job. But we'll see. That's it. Alright, on this Monday evening, we got Raw coming up in about a little over an hour. So get ready for that. We got AJ Styles and Randy Orton on the show. We got see what happens with the Viking Raiders. They had that match with the OC, which I'll get to in a minute. See what happens with the Raw Tag Team titles, and we'll see what happens with Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and the AOP. And their little storyline that's going on right now. But TLC last night it started off good, and then and another year, TLC just sucks, and they really need to get rid of this pay-per-view. I would be alright with bringing back New Year's Revolution, or having some other pay-per-view in December, not TLC, not this gimmick pay-per-view. They need to get rid of gimmick pay-per-views, in my opinion. Like Hell in a Cell. They're thinking of getting rid of Hell in a Cell. Get rid of TLC. Just have Money in the Bank. That's a gimmick pay-per-view. That's it. And the Elimination Chamber. Just have 2 gimmick matches. Gimmick pay-per-views. Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank. That's it. But it is what it is. But the show sucked, and that's all I gotta say about that. We start off with the pre-show. We had Humberto Carrillo defeat Andrade second time with a moonsault. So he gets the win, and I didn't really watch most of the match. I watched near the end, and Humberto hit a perfect moonsault, and then he gets the win, and then Andrade's pissed, and him and Zelina Vega start arguing again, and then he walks out on her again. So eventually they're gonna break up, which I don't know why they're breaking up. Pretty much sucks that they're doing this, because where's Andrade gonna go? He can't really cut a promo, and Zelina Vega is basically his mouthpiece. So Andrade without a mouthpiece, it's just a regular wrestler. He's just gonna be lost in a shuffle, and he's gonna be in mid-card hell. That's all I can say about that. So we got that. Alright, then we go to the main show. We got the first match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. We got The New Day taking on the Revival. This was a great match. Very, very good match to start the show. Very good way to open the show. And they had a lot of spots with the ladder, especially mostly with Kofi. Kofi using the ladder as a seesaw. And then he hits a move off one ladder, jumps off the top rope, and hits a tornado DDT on the Scott Dawson, and then he hits a Trouble in Paradise to Dash Wilder. That was pretty good. Revival hit a couple big spots. With Scott Dawson superplex onto Big E onto the ladder, even though Big E hit like the side of the ladder on his shoulder. how. But most of the beginning of the match, like the New Day started off in control. Then the Revival came back and they just took over for like most of the match, and then Kofi would come back. Would try to get the would try to get the belts, and then the Revival would stop them, and the Revival would try to get the belts, and Kofi or Big E would stop them. But getting to the end, and Kofi was climbing the ropes, and he lays Dawson on a bridging ladder, climbs the ropes, Dash stops him, cracks him on the ropes. Also, that was a Big E, I should say. Suplex on the ladder, like I said. Dash falls with a splash to bend the ladder. Uh, and then a revive on Kofi climb. Kofi gets locked in the tree of oh the ladder and the rungs of the ladder, and looked like the revival about to win the belts for the fourth time. But Big E climbs, hits the big ending off the ladder on the dash, and then Dawson climbs, and he basically had the belt in his hand, and then Kofi smashed him in the head, and then he grabs the belt and he smashes him in the head with the belts, and he Dawson falls down, and Kofi unhooks the belts to get the win and retain the titles. In a pretty long match, it was 20 minutes match. It wasn't bad, but Kofi and Biggie get the win. And New Day get the win, and actually I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was pretty damn good, and good way to open the show. Very good way to open the show. And that's it. Alright, then we get to Caleb Braxton interviewing King Corbin. He says he's not worried about facing Roman Reigns because he has Reigns where he wants him, and he's gonna beat the big dog tonight and become his master. We'll see what happens with that. So I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. See what happens with Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin in that TLC match. We'll see what happens. Alright, second match, Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. This was another good match. You know, one after the other, they were a pretty good match, and you would think that the show was gonna keep going on with that, but then after this match, the show went downhill. So I think this was the match of the night, like I said on my predictions video on TGC Reborn, which you can watch. Channel link down below. I also got that. So this was a hard hitting match, lots of strikes, and Aleister Black got his nose broken. He was gushing blood, but blood was coming out of his nose, and here he busted up his nose, and and then Buddy Murphy was taking care of him, taking control of that. He mocked the pose that Aleister Black does, and Aleister Black did it as well. And they just went at it after that. But and then to the end, Buddy Murphy hits it's a trio of cheeky Nandos, whatever that is, and it's a Liger Bomb for a near fall. Then he hits a Kamigoye, he's countered. Aleister Black hits an elbow. Buddy Murphy comes out with a knee strike and then a brain buster for a near fall. And both men go down, and then they get back up. They're firing back and forth. They trade shots, and then Black out of nowhere hits Black Mass and finishes it off. Match was pretty good. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Aleister Black continues his undefeated reign on Monday Night Raw. Buddy Murphy put up a good fight. I can see another match between these two. See what happens with that, and that's all I gotta say about that. So, great match, another good match, another 3.5 out of 5 stars myself, and that's that. Alright, then we go to the back. Charly Caruso, and her guest is Rusev. So I'm gonna be taking on Bobby Lashley in a tables match. She mentions that about the divorce of Lana, and that Lana is gonna get married and blah blah and all this stuff. Nash is like, Rusev's like Lashley can have Lana, and he's gonna prove that he's back on Rusev Day. So get that. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm hoping Rusev wins, but we'll see. Right, then we get highlights of the AOP beating down Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw, and the reveal of Seth Rollins as a heel. His alignment with the AOP, the Architects of Pain, I guess you can call him now. So at that, so we'll see what happens tonight. With that, I think it's gonna lead to a match at the Royal Rumble at the end of January. So Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens may or may not be in the Royal Rumble. Might do double duty. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, then we get some fans eating KFC at ringside. I thought that was lame. I don't know why they had that. It didn't even look like fans. It looked like plants. But it is what it is. All right, then we get to match number 3 for the Raw Tag Team titles. The Viking Raiders shoot an open challenge, and who should come out? Not the AOP, like I thought they were gonna come out. It was the OC, the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows. And this match started off good, and then the ending just was horrible. Kind of went back and forth for a while. And the Viking Raiders were in control. Gallows just caused a distraction, Anderson attacking, and then they were working on Eric for a while. Then Eric came back, but Gallows and Anderson Gallows hit a head kick, and Anderson comes in covering for a near fall. Eric fires back up, and he tags in Ivar. He goes nuts. And Anderson cuts him off. Gallows tags in. Double team follows, and they get a near fall. And then Anderson comes in. Ivar kind hits a back handspring elbow on both of them. Then they go for Doris Hammer. They hit it, and they get a near fall. Then it all breaks down. Gallows levels Ivar, and Eric gets dumped into the crowd. And then Ivar hits a suicide dive. Everybody's down, and didn't get back up at the count of 10, so we got a double count out, which sucked. Which basically sucked, and the match I gave the match 2.25 out of 5 stars. You know, I was hoping the AOP would fight Viking Raiders, but you know, they went with the OC, who already beat the Viking Raiders at Crown Jewel to become the best tag team in the world. So I guess that was why. I don't know. I really don't know why, but they got the shot. But it is what it is. So 2.25 out of 5 stars for that match. The ending sucked. Then after the match, they brawl, and then Carl Anderson gets powerbombed through the KFC table. Didn't sit right with him. Blah 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 blah, and that's it. Alright, then we get The Miz interviewed in the back. He says Monroe is fine and safe. He's moved his family to an undisclosed location for safety. Whatever that may be, I don't know. He says this is the most important personal match of his life, and he's fighting to protect his family and would do anything to do that. So, very spirited promo from The Miz, and we'll see what happens with him and his match with Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. A little bit. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that was pretty much it. Alright, then we get to Roman Reigns and King Corbin in a TLC match. Not great. They shouldn't even have had a TLC match because there was nothing on the line. And they had a referee. So, I mean, this match should have been a no holds barred match or a no disqualification match. Well, last man standing match, at least something. Not a TLC match, but yeah. It is what it is. King Corbin comes out with his security, and then they beat up Roman Reigns, and and they get beat up by Roman Reigns. Roman charges and they brawl on the stage. Reigns attacking with ladders. Then he tosses Corbin off the stage, and they go to the floor. Then they brawl in the crowd for a little bit. They go back to ringside. Um, and then Reigns is in control. He works him over on the floor. They go back in. They trade as Corbin hits the in and out for lariat for a near fall. Then Corbin goes to work, whipping Reigns into the barricade. Reigns comes back, rolls him in the ring. Corbin catches him with a low blow. He slams Roman to the steps, grabs a ladder, hitting Roman and maintaining control. As they go back in, Corbin gets a near fall out of that. Then he gets a chair, wedges it in the corner. Reigns comes back with some clotheslines and a big boot. Goes to a Superman punch. Corbin counters it and hits a choke breaker. After that, actually, and yeah, he hits the choke breaker. Then he sets up for the spear, and Roman cuts him off, runs into the chair. Then Roman hits a Superman punch, gets a near fall out of that. Roman gets a table, slides it in. Corbin hits him with a can of dog food. And then he choke slams him through the table for a near fall. And Corbin clears off the announce table, dumps Reigns, and lays him on the table. And I think he was gonna power drive him through the announce table or something, but Roman powers up, hits a Samoan drop through another announce table. And then Reigns fires up, and I think he was about to put Corbin through the barricade, but then Dolph Ziggler shows up. I think he was under the ring or something, and hits a super kick. And then they take one of the ringside crew guys, throw him over the barricade. Then they start beating him up for no apparent reason. I didn't get that. And then they handcuff Roman. They try to douse him with pump dog food back on him again, like they did on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. But Roman fights him off, hits the drive-by kick, gets a kendo stick, beats up Corbin's security with it. Then a Revival come out. They attack Roman, and Roman in the ring. Roman fights back, takes him out. He dumps Corbin, hits the big dog dive onto the pile, and they get back in. Dolph chair shots Roman to cut off the spear. Hits a zigzag, as nobody came out for Roman. I don't know why. Then the Revival hits Shatter Machine, and then Corbin hits the End of Days on the chair and wins. So King Corbin gets another victory over Roman, like he did at I think Survivor Series. Not at the Survivor Series. I'm sorry, Crown Jewel. And yeah, this match was kind of dumb and boring. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why the TLC stipulation was there. I know, and then it took like 3 guys to beat up, like 15 people to beat up Roman. Like most, and then some of the roster came out, I think. Yeah. And this match lasted 22 minutes. But it lasted a little bit too long, for my opinion. So what happens. So I gave the match 2 out of 5 stars. Just horrible, and King Coleman gets the win. He's gonna gloat on SmackDown this Friday night. I think Roman will probably come out and they'll have another match, and this feud continues. But we'll see what happens with that. All right, then we get to Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, and I thought it was for the Universal title because the referee showed Miz the title and he kind of held it up. So, but yeah, this match was kind of short, and Bray comes out in his regular Mr. Rogers attire, and he's laughing at Miz for the start. Miz is pissed off, and Miz just beats the living bejesus out of him, rips off the sweater, and starts beating him up. Bray tries for Sister Abigail, and Miz hits the Skull Crusher finale. Looked like he was gonna pin Bray Wyatt, but he rolled over Bray Wyatt and then broke his arm, Pentagon Junior style. Bray goes to the floor, and he's in pain. He's laughing, he's screaming and laughing in pain at the same time. Then he runs into the barricade, doing his best Lethal Weapon 1 impression. Just popped his shoulder back in. That was hideous and disgusting. Miz attacks, slams him to the steps onto a table, and then Wyatt then dumps him over the barricade. He hits a draping Sister Abigail on the floor. And then Miz looks like he's about to get counted out, and he comes back in at 9.5. Then Bray picks up hits another Sister Abigail for the win. So it's kind of a weird match. No Fiend, no red lights and anything. Just showed Bray Wyatt with the SmackDown Universal title, not the Fiend belt. So, but Miz put up a good fight, and he just got beat by the better man, Bray Wyatt. And match was kind of weird and kind of quick, so I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. That was that. And the aftermath. This is where I marked out. We see the Fiend on the Titantron, and then Bray looks at him. He's like, "I'll do it. I'll do it." And then he goes outside, grabs a giant mallet. And I guess he was going to use it on the Miz. And the lights go out, and Bray Wyatt's like, "He's here. He's here." I thought somebody I don't know how they were gonna do the Fiend coming out. Then the lights go back on. We see somebody in a red hood, and Bray turns around. He gets hit with a Psycho knee, and Kane's going yes, yes, and it's revealed that it was Daniel Bryan, but not the Daniel Bryan we knew. It is American Dragon Bryan Danielson. So, he comes out, and he has short hair and a short beard, looking like he did when he first came to WWE back in 2009. So, he looks great, and some drop kicks and then the yes kicks. Then he has another knee plus on the Bray, and then stomps the crap out of him. And he takes the hammer and to hit Bray, but then the lights go out, and then they come back on. Bray's disappeared. So they're leading to Bray versus Daniel Bryan 2 at the Royal Rumble for the Universal title. I don't think Bryan's gonna win it, because I think Bray's gonna hold it all the way to WrestleMania, then lose it to that guy named Roman. So Roman may win the Royal Rumble, but I'm hearing that a guy from NXT might win it. It might be the Velveteen Dream. That's what I'm hearing. But when Daniel Bryan took off his hood and he looked like 2006 Ring of Honor Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, I was like, holy shit! I went completely. I was like, no! I started going crazy. So, what was that? I gave the Aftermath 3.25 out of 5 stars, just for Bryan coming out as American Dragon. That was it. So we'll see what happens on SmackDown with Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. Now leading up to their match at the Royal Rumble. So basically, that's one of the matches at the Royal Rumble besides the Royal Rumble match itself and the Women's Royal Rumble. So that's 3 matches that are already. Danny Bryan and Bray Wyatt 2 hasn't been officially announced, but it's going to be announced. So you got really 3 matches right there. Then you just fill out the rest of the card. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we get to the tables match. Lashley versus Rusev. Lana's at ringside, as always. They brawl on the floor. I mean, the match sucked. It was boring. They brawl on the floor. Rusev takes control, slides on the table. Lana steals it, and Lashley attacks him. Rusev's beating him up. Falls with a Dominator. Gets a table. Rusev cuts him off. Hits a suplex on the ramp. And then Lashley flips over the table and whips Rusev to the ring steps. He sets up a table on the floor. They go back in. They trade some strikes. Slides the table in, props it up in the corner. Rusev attacks and they trade blows as they tease going through the table. Then Lashley hits a spine buster. Works him over in the corner. He brings in another table, sets it up, takes Rusev up top. Rusev fights off the superplex, slips out, and Lashley goes to the apron. Then they go back and forth. Lashley teases a suplex. Rusev knocks him to the floor over the table. Then he hits him with the steps, grabs a barricade, hits Lashley with the barricade. Then he props it up at ringside. Lashley rakes the eyes, chokeslams Rusev onto the barricade. Ow. And then grabs a kendo stick, starts beating the crap out of Rusev with it. Lana's laughing at Rusev. They bring it back in. Lashley continues beating up Rusev. Props up a table in the corner, follows with some kendo stick shots. Rusev comes back, nails Lashley with the kendo stick, and starts laying into Lashley with it. He hits the Machka kick. And then Lana comes in and attacks Rusev from behind. And then Lashley spears Rusev into the table. Didn't break. So he hits a belly-to-belly suplex to another one. Pick up the win. And a match I gave 2 out of 5 stars. And, it sucks that Bobby Lashley won. I was hoping Rusev would beat Lashley and end this feud, but the feud's gonna continue. We'll see what happens tonight on Raw. And that's basically it. Blah, 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 blah. So 2 out of 5 stars for that. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we see the Street Profits talking as Roman and Corbin and others start brawling backstage. And we'll see them later. But then we get to the main event for the women's tag team belts. Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, taking on Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Another match that lasted way too long. It actually lasted like almost 30 minutes. And the pay-per-view ended like around 10:15, 10:20, almost by 10:30 almost ended. But yeah, this match wasn't, they kind of played safe for a little while. But I mean, this was the match that Kairi Sane got injured. In the match, she gets hit with one of the go outside, and Becky and Charlotte go on the Spanish announce table, and they rip off the stuff. Then they take the TV monitors and throw them away. And Becky threw the TV monitor away, and it hit Kairi right in the back of the head. And then Kairi gets hit a bunch more times. But most of the match was going back and forth. Becky and Charlotte came back, and then the Kabuki Warriors came back. They tied Becky to a ladder. But then Charlotte comes back and starts beating him up by herself. And then Charlotte botched a spear. She ran, and then she just kind of just jumped up right into her arms, and that was it. And then Charlotte slaps her. I guess Kairi botched it. I think she was she had to be concussed right there. And so she was out for most of the match as doing all that ruckus. Kairi gets sent into the barricade. She hit her head, and she was out for the rest of the match. And so it was Becky and Charlotte taking on Asuka. So getting to the match, to the end of the match. And Charlotte goes up top. Asuka pops up, stops her, and then an apron bomb through the table by Asuka that looked sick because Charlotte was grabbing her head. after that, so I don't know if she got an injury too, but we'll see. Becky then cuts off Asuka, slams her into the ladders, and climbs up the ladders, looking to win it. Asuka uses the top rope to topple over the ladder, which still had the rope around it, so that came into play. So Becky crashes into the top rope, and then Asuka puts the ladder up, and then she climbs up and unhooks the belts to retain the titles. Now I was thinking Becky and Charlotte would win, but I guess they might save that for Monday night, for Raw or SmackDown or something like that. Because seems like that Asuka and Kyrie might leave. I don't know if they're gonna resign or anything. See. Yeah, but this match was kind of bleh, you know. But another pay per view where the women main event like they did at Survivor Series with Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, and Bayley, and the crowd hated it, and they hated this. And tonight, last night they hated on it again. But they took a couple of rough bumps. Kyrie took most of the bumps. WWE hasn't said anything about Kyrie's name. They'll probably say something maybe tonight on Raw that she may have a concussion or she had fatigue. I don't know. I think she had a concussion. She just went through the match with a concussion. She's gonna be out for a while. So I don't know if they're gonna take the belts off of them or what's gonna happen with them. So match wasn't that great, so I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that was that. And then afterwards, we see Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin brawl into the arena, and then a bunch like the Viking Raiders come out, and everybody that was fighting in the back before the women's match, they come out, starts fighting in the crowd, and Roman and Corbin go up to the crowd, and they beat each other up, and then Roman hits a spear on the Corbin, and they fly on everybody on the floor, and that ends the show. So I don't know what that was supposed to mean. I guess they wanted to end the pay per view strong. They didn't. They didn't do a good job. So excuse me. So that was it for that. So TLC is come and gone. The WWE ends the 2019 pay per view year on a sour note. So I gave the pay per view 5 out of 10 stars. But let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment or a video reply down below. If you got any questions regarding the pay per view, regarding Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA, anything else in the world of professional wrestling, or anything in the world, music, movies, sports, politics, whatever, put it down below in the comment section of this video, or hit me up via Twitter at my Twitter link, which is down below in the description box. Subscribe to this channel and all my other channels as well, which are down below in the description box. And that's pretty much it. Share the videos all over the internet. And that's all I gotta say about that. So, thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna go. Raw's coming up in about 45 minutes or so. So I'm gonna watch that. We'll see the fallout from TLC as the road to the Royal Rumble begins. As the new cycle for for wrestling begins with the 2020 pay-per-view cycle, which begins with Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th and 5th, and we have another NWA pay-per-view January the 14th, I believe it is. I don't know the name of it yet, but it looks like it's gonna be Nick Aldis and Marty Scurll for the NWA World Title. And Nick Aldis is probably gonna beat Marty because Marty, I don't think is signing with NWA full time. I think it's just a one-off match. He's gonna go to AEW, most likely. So probably by AEW Revolution, he probably will appear at AEW Revolution, but we'll see. Still a little ways away from that, but I think he will make an appearance at Revolution, and the fans go nuts. And then he joins up with the Elite, Cody and Kenny. And I don't know, he's going to bring Brody Lee and PCO with him to reform Villain Enterprises. I don't know about Flip Gordon. I don't know what's going on with Villain Enterprises. I didn't really see the results from the Fallout or Final Battle. I'm gonna probably look them up and see what happens with that. As Nirvana goes into the new year, they had a really tough year this year, and hopefully 2020 is better for them. But we'll see what happens. We got TNA Hard to Kill. It's around the same time. See what happens with that. Got Tessa Blanchard against Sami Callihan for the world title. See if Tessa can become the first woman to hold a major title, and become the youngest woman in TNA history the youngest person in TNA history to win the world title. See what happens with that. Then in January, the Royal Rumble in Houston, and got and Worlds Collide around that time as well. NXT versus NXT UK should be pretty good. See what happens with that. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Enjoy Raw tonight. I'll do my review probably on Wednesday afternoon, or either late. I probably won't be the early Wednesday afternoon or Thursday night. I'll do my AEW and NXT reviews, and we get that. So all the reviews coming this week. I got a busy week of work, so as we're getting closer to Christmas, see what happens with that. Next week's Raw, the review will probably coming up after Christmas, because I gotta celebrate my birthday, I gotta celebrate Christmas, gotta work on Christmas Day, which sucks. Time and a half, so it's good. So it's holiday pay, which is good for you, and good for me. And that's basically it. So thank you for watching. I'm Peter Gilmore signing off. Peace out. Rock on. We'll see you next time. Shh.